Dear friends, out there, society imposes a false standard of success. Must be rich before 30. Must have perfect appearance. Must have a perfect relationship. Must be recognized and admired by others. You are caught up in the comparison race with others. Compare income. Compare appearance. Compare reputation. Compare likes and followers on social networks. You lose yourself and live according to other people's expectations. The harder you try, the more you feel you are not good enough. The more you achieve, the more you fear losing. You become a mental slave to the eyes and words of others. Imagine one day you wake up and realize that everything you have built in life, from assets, reputation to relationships, disappears in the blink of an eye. How will you react? Despair, anger, or blame the situation? This is not a fictional story, but an incident that happened to Zeno, a wealthy merchant in ancient Greece. When his ship full of goods sank at sea, he went from being a rich man to a penniless man overnight. But instead of falling apart, Zeno found light from adversity. He transformed loss into enlightenment and founded one of the most powerful philosophies in human history, Stoicism. If you only hear my advice once, you should watch it to the end. Listen to it over and over again. When you have free time or are doing housework, share and save the playlist for your convenience. I dare say, within a few short months, your intelligence will develop to a new level. This call is not just a reminder, but also a commitment to yourself, a promise that, if you persevere and practice, you will gradually realize the laws that govern life, thereby mastering yourself and reaching success. This philosophy is not reserved for ancient philosophers or successful people, but for all of us, those who are struggling with work pressure, relationships, and fears about the future. If you want to truly master your life, free from the invisible shackles of emotions, expectations, and judgments from others, then this is the path for you. Chapter 1. Mastering Yourself, the first step to control of your life. Ask yourself honestly, why is your life always dominated by emotions, circumstances, and judgments from others? Why is it that every time you fail or are judged, you fall into pain, depression, and disorientation? And why, despite your best efforts to change, do you still feel stuck in a cycle of anxiety and fear? The answer lies here. You have not truly mastered yourself. If you want to master your life, escape from invisible worries, pressures, and fears, you must start by mastering yourself first. And that is the core of what Stoic philosophy teaches us. The secret of successful people: they master themselves. Have you ever wondered why people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, can succeed and maintain a strong spirit despite facing enormous pressure? The secret lies in this. They do not seek to control the outside world. They master the world within themselves. Stoic philosophy says, happiness does not come from controlling everything around you, but from controlling your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you understand this, you will enter a completely different level of awareness. You are no longer a victim of circumstances or emotions, but become the scriptwriter of your life. Life is divided into two parts: what is controllable and what is uncontrollable. What you can control: your thoughts, feelings, actions, reactions to situations. What you cannot control: other people's opinions, results of actions, weather, natural disasters, losses in life. Important lesson: when you stop focusing on what you cannot control and put all your energy into controlling yourself, you will become stronger than anyone else. How Marcus Aurelius mastered himself in any situation. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor who ruled a vast empire, wrote in his Meditations, "Your life is shaped by the quality of your thoughts. Keep your thoughts noble, even when the world around you is in chaos." When faced with war, plague, and betrayal from those close to him, Marcus did not become angry or resentful. He understood that he could not control the actions of others, but he could completely control how he reacted to them. Stoicism, the formula for mastering yourself in any situation. Step 1. Separate everything into 2 categories. Whenever you encounter a difficult situation, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. Step 2. Control your emotions. Don't react immediately. When someone offends you, instead of getting angry, pause and ask yourself, why am I angry? Am I giving control of my emotions to someone else? When you stop and analyze, you will realize that anger is your choice, not the result of someone else's actions. Step 3. Master your actions. Focus on what you control. You can't control whether your boss gives you a raise, but you can control your work effort. You can't control whether someone leaves you, but you can control how you grow from that pain. You can't control the outcome of your life, but you can control your attitude and actions every day. The reason 99% of people fail in life, they put their energy into what they can't control. Most people live in misery and failure because they focus on things beyond their control. Fear of what others think of them. Worry about the results of their work. Anger because others don't treat them fairly. But people who live by the Stoic philosophy do the opposite. Focus on self-improvement. Practice thinking and acting. Stay calm in the face of all results. Master yourself today. 1. Daily Stoic Journal. Every night write down what you had good control over today, what you had no control over but are wasting energy worrying about. Hashtag 2. Pause for 3 seconds. Before every emotional reaction. When you feel angry, anxious, or afraid, pause for 3 seconds and ask yourself, where does this emotion come from? Is it really important? Can I respond in a calmer way? Your life changes when you master yourself. When you understand that all suffering in life comes from trying to control what you cannot control. True happiness comes when you master your own thoughts, emotions, and actions. From this moment on, you will step into a completely different level. Listen to this content over and over again. Save it and share it with your loved ones. I dare say that within a few short months, your mind and life will step into a new level. Chapter 2. Mastering Emotions. The Secret of Inner Strength. Be honest with yourself. How many times in your life have you been controlled by your emotions and made wrong decisions? How many times have you been angry, upset, worried, scared, and then regretted what you did? How many times have you been hurt by other people's judgments and lost your confidence? That's because you haven't really mastered your emotions. When you can't master your emotions, you're like a small boat floating in the ocean, being swept away by the waves of circumstances and negative thoughts. But when you learn to control your emotions, you will become the helmsman, steadily navigating your life. Despite the storms of life, emotions, the invisible enemy that's ruining your life. Most people think that emotions are natural, uncontrollable, but that's a wrong way of thinking. It's not the event that hurts us, it's how we react to it. Epictetus, Stoic philosopher. In fact, emotions are just temporary results created by our thoughts and perceptions of a situation. For example, the same criticism, one person feels hurt, but another person is calm and smiles lightly. The same failure. One person despairs, but another sees it as a learning opportunity. The problem is not the situation. It's how you interpret it in your mind. Mastering emotions. According to Stoic philosophy, 3-step formula. Step 1. Identify emotions. Escape the negative loop. When negative emotions arise, don't react immediately. Pause and ask yourself, where does this emotion come from? Is it really important? Can I control this situation? For example, someone criticizes you. Don't react immediately. Realize that their opinions are not within your control. The only thing you control is how you react to them. Step 2. Detach yourself from your emotions. I am not my emotions. I am the observer of my emotions. When you feel angry, anxious, or afraid, step back and observe it. It's like you're standing outside, looking at yourself. Don't fight the emotion. Don't try to get rid of it. Accept it, but don't let it control your actions. Step 3. Transform emotions into inner strength. Fear is a motivation to prepare more thoroughly. Anger is a sign that your boundaries are being violated. Sadness helps you realize the value of what you have lost. When you know how to transform emotions, they will become a powerful source of energy to push you forward, instead of dragging you down. Lessons from Marcus Aurelius. Mastering emotions in the midst of a harsh battlefield. When Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, faced war, betrayal, and plague, he wrote in his Meditations, "Emotions are the greatest enemies of reason. Only by mastering emotions can we master life." When his generals betrayed him, he did not get angry. When the enemy surrounded the city, he was not afraid. When the plague spread, he did not despair. He understood that I cannot control the outside world, but I can control my own thoughts and emotions. The Stoic meditation formula helps master emotions in any situation. Number 1. 3-second pause technique. Every time a negative emotion appears, stop for 3 seconds and ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or rationally? Is this really worth getting angry about? What way of reacting will help me become stronger? Number 2. Practice negative visualization. Imagine the worst thing that can happen in a situation: losing a job, failing in business, being rejected in love. Once you have tasted the pain in your mind, you will no longer be afraid when it actually happens. Number 3. Write a daily emotional diary. Before going to bed, write down, what emotions dominated you today? Did you react emotionally or rationally? Next time, how will you react differently? Why do 99% of people fail in life? Because they cannot control their emotions. They let other people's criticism make them lose confidence. They let the fear of failure keep them from taking action. They let negative emotions destroy relationships. When you master your emotions, you master your life. When you learn to master your emotions, you will no longer worry about what others think of you. No longer fear failure or rejection. Always stay calm and clear-headed in every situation. Watch this content over and over again. Save it and share it with your loved ones. I'm sure that within 3 short months, your mind and emotions will develop to a new level. Chapter 3. Critical thinking. Escape the loop of expectations and social pressure. Why do most people live in the invisible prison of social expectations? Be honest with yourself. Have you ever felt like you're not living for yourself, but for the eyes and judgments of others? Have you ever made a decision just because you're afraid of being laughed at, judged, or underestimated by others? Have you ever felt like you're not good enough, not successful enough, not happy enough? just because you compare yourself to others on social media? This is the social expectation loop, an invisible trap that controls 99% of modern people. What is the social expectation loop? Why is it destroying your mind? How the social expectation loop works. Society imposes a false standard of success. Must be rich before the age of 30. Must have a perfect appearance. Must have a perfect relationship. Must be recognized and admired by others. You are caught up in the comparison race with others. Compare income. Compare appearance. Compare reputation. Compare likes and followers on social media. You lose yourself and live according to other people's expectations. What is the result? The harder you try, the more you feel you are not good enough. The more you achieve, the more you fear losing. You become a mental slave to the eyes and words of others. Formula to free yourself from the social expectation loop. According to Stoic philosophy, Step 1. Clearly define your core values. If you do not define your own values, the world will do it for you. Ask yourself, what do I really want in this life? What makes me feel truly happy and meaningful? Am I doing this for passion or for recognition? Step 2. Break the comparison mechanism. Stop basing your self-worth on others' opinions. Philosopher Epictetus once said, "Your worth is not in what others think of you, but in how you think of yourself." Practice exercise. When someone criticizes, judges, or evaluates you, pause and ask yourself, do their opinions really reflect who I am? Are their thoughts within my control? Why do I let my emotions be controlled by someone who doesn't understand me? Step 3. Develop critical thinking. Learn how to see through the truth. The world is not what you think. It is colored by how you interpret it in your mind. What is critical thinking? Why is it the most powerful tool to help you master your life? Critical thinking is the ability to see the hidden truth behind everything, distinguish between true value and social illusion, escape the psychological manipulation of the media and public opinion. Apply critical thinking to escape the control of society. Formula: 3 levels of perception of Stoic philosophy. Level 1. Surface truth. What you see. Social networks boast success. Young rich people role models. Millionaire entrepreneurs on TikTok. 90% of people are stuck on this level. Level 2. Hidden motives. What few people see. People brag because they lack confidence. Success on social networks is just a marketing trick. Truly successful people always choose silence. Only 10% of people have strong enough critical thinking to see this. Floor 3. The true nature of life. What the wise realize: true success is mastering the mind, not being controlled by emotions and society. Peace and happiness come from within, not from material things or fame. The master of life is the one who is no longer afraid of losing anything. Lessons from Marcus Aurelius. Mastering adversity in the midst of battle and betrayal. Marcus Aurelius was not only a great Roman emperor, but also a true Stoic philosopher. When faced with war, betrayal from those close to him, and the loss of loved ones, he did not complain nor grieve. What happens to you is not important. What is important is how you perceive and react to it. The Stoic philosophy's Mastering Adversity formula. Step 1. Accept reality. Don't fight the pain. We cannot change what has happened, but we can absolutely change how we face it. When a loss occurs, don't deny it. Don't blame it. Don't try to control what has been lost. Accept it as an inevitable part of life. Step 2. Ask powerful questions to find the hidden value in adversity. When you fail, ask yourself, What can I learn from this situation? What is this adversity training me? If I overcome this situation, how strong will I become? Step 3. Practice transforming pain into inner strength. Practice Stoic meditation on death. Every morning when you wake up, spend 5 minutes to imagine, if today were your last day, how would you live differently? If everything you have disappeared, would you have anything truly valuable? Practice. Actively put yourself in small adversities every day. Sleep on the floor to understand the feelings of homeless people. Eat simply to train your mind not to depend on luxury. Face criticism without reacting to practice serenity. Why do 99% of people fail in life? Because they don't know how to master adversity. When they lose a relationship, they blame themselves and live in pain. When they fail at work, they lose confidence and give up. When they are betrayed by others, they become spiteful and hateful. The mindset of a master of adversity turns every failure into an opportunity for growth. Losing a relationship, opportunity to develop yourself and find someone more worthy. Failing in business, opportunity to learn and develop new strategies. Being rejected and criticized, opportunity to practice inner strength and patience. When you master adversity, you master your destiny. When you change your perspective on adversity, you will no longer fear failure, no longer suffer from loss, no longer blame fate. Instead, you will become a strong, steadfast, and unbeatable person, a person who is the master of his own destiny, regardless of circumstances. Chapter 5. True Self. Master yourself. Master your life. Who are you really when you no longer have a title, status, or money? What do you really aim for when you are no longer controlled by other people's expectations? If tomorrow is the last day of your life, are you living true to yourself? Most people today are living in a fake version that society has programmed. Study to please their parents. Earn money to be recognized by society. Seek love to fill the emptiness inside. But deep inside, you know you were not born to be a copy of someone else. You were born to awaken your highest self, and that is the journey to discover your true self. So what is true self? Why is only 1% of people in the world awakened to their true self? True self is the purest version of you, the highest self not controlled by emotions, fame, or material things. The real you when there is no more pressure from society or expectations of others. The painful truth. Why 99% of people in the world never reach their true self. Reason 1. They are programmed from birth. Study to please teachers. Work to please bosses. Live to be recognized by society. Reason 2. They are stuck in a false self, afraid of being judged, afraid of losing recognition from others, afraid of not being successful, rich, happy enough as society desires. Reason 3. They never dare to face their inner self, avoid pain, run away from loneliness, depend on relationships to fill the void inside. The formula for awakening the true self, according to Stoic philosophy. Step 1. Free your mind from social control. You will never find freedom while living in the eyes of others. Practice. Delete all social media for 7 days. Stop seeking validation from others. Sit in silence and observe your inner self. Step 2. Practice inner silence to connect with your true self. Most modern people cannot stand silence because they are afraid of facing themselves. But the awakened know how to use silence as a weapon to explore their highest self. Practice. Spend 30 minutes every day meditating and observing your thoughts, journaling about your fears, feelings and true goals. Learning to listen to your inner intuition instead of looking for answers outside. 3. Destroy the false ego to awaken the true self. All suffering in life comes from clinging to a false self that society has programmed for you. Practice spiritual death. Let go of all titles, statuses, and external recognition. Live a minimalist life. Give up the habit of consuming and chasing after material things. Focus on developing wisdom, consciousness, and inner energy. Signs you have awakened your true self and take control of your life. No longer afraid of being judged or rejected, no longer controlled by negative emotions, no longer looking for recognition or love from the outside. When you touch your true self, you will take control of your mind, emotions, and destiny. You are no longer afraid of failure because you understand that failure is a lesson for the mind to grow. You are no longer afraid of loss because you understand that everything in life is impermanent. You are no longer afraid of death because you understand that death is not the end, but the liberation of the soul. Touching the true self, you will live an immortal life. No more worries about the future. No more regrets about the past. Live fully and peacefully in every present moment. Philosophy of mastering life. The journey to mastering life does not begin with controlling the outside world, but with mastering yourself. Chapter 1. Mastering yourself helps you understand that all suffering comes from trying to control things beyond your reach, instead of controlling your thoughts and actions. Chapter 2. Mastering emotions helps you no longer be controlled by fear, anger, and suffering, but know how to transform emotions into inner strength. Chapter 3. Critical thinking helps you escape the social expectation loop, no longer living to please others, but living true to your core values. Chapter 4. Mastering adversity teaches you to turn every failure and loss into a lesson in self-development. No blame, no lament, just focus on what you control. Chapter 5. Awakening the true self is the pinnacle of the journey. When you let go of the false self and connect with the highest being within you, you will no longer fear anything in this life. When you master yourself, you master life. When you master your emotions, you master your destiny. And when you awaken the true self, you master the universe. If you have read this far, congratulations! You are no longer an ordinary person. You have begun the journey of great wisdom, the journey of mastering yourself and awakening your true self. Do 3 things to change your life forever. Save this video and listen to it over and over again. Each time you listen, your mind will be upgraded to a new level. Share this video with your loved ones. They also deserve to awaken and master their destiny. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any lessons on the journey of developing intelligence and consciousness. I dare say that if you apply this philosophy within the next 3 months, your thinking and energy will develop to a level that 99% of people out there will never reach. See you in the next videos.